So you want to analyze the numbers of your Meta ads campaign, but you log into Ads Manager and it just feels like there's so many metrics there, and you know how to read them and see the growth or decline of each, but how do you make decisions on each of those numbers? Well, in today's video, I want to break down just that. And before we go ahead and dive in, I just want to do a brief introduction to myself. My name is David Nips, co-founder of Rain Companies, and inside of our marketing agency, we've managed millions of dollars of ad spend on both Meta, like I'm going to break down to you here today, on Google, and also on TikTok. And I've learned over the years that analyze numbers actually takes some time and attention to detail, but I want to try and break it down in the simplest way possible. So let's go ahead and dive in. So when you look at the numbers like this, I always like to put them into like this triangle form here, and here's why. When you look at the breakdown, ROAS and conversions is down at the bottom here, but it works its way up to just being putting money into the ads manager, and then the numbers shrink down as they go. So here's a couple of things to note. Number one is amount of money that you spent. You want to make sure that you're tracking this because it coincides with something called impressions. And what you can do is impressions divided by amount spent is what's going to give you what's called CPM, which is cost per milli. And this is how many dollars that you spend to reach 1,000 people. So if your CPM is $20, for every $20 that you spend on paid ads, you're going to reach 1,000 people. And it really depends on the CPM based off of the location and your industry. But we're usually looking somewhere from like a $10 to $15 on the low end to $30 to $40 on the high end. So you're looking for like a $20 to $30 range. But again, it depends on what you're selling and where you're located. If you're targeting the United States or Canada, the CPM is going to be higher. If you're targeting Europe or South Africa or other countries like that, the CPM will be lower because the demand to advertise in those areas is less. And one thing that you can look at when it comes to CPM is if you have a high CPM, it usually means that the quality of the ad and the relevancy to the audience is low. So Facebook isn't giving you higher priority with it. The lower the CPM, the higher quality that Facebook's saying you're producing a good ad that our viewers are getting value from. Therefore, we're going to give you a more favorable number there. Then we have the number of clicks. And clicks is how many people see the ad and then click it and then go to your landing page or whatever the call to action was next. And this is important because clicks divided by impressions is going to give you what's called click-through rate, which is out of every 100 people who see the ad, how many of them actually click on it. And for us, we're usually looking for at least a 1% to 2% click-through rate. And by this being this number or higher, it's telling us that the copy and the creative is enticing and that the offer is also enticing, like what the ad is promoting is good. If the click-through rate is low, it either means that what people are seeing, they're not excited about, there's no reason for them to want to click, or maybe it's not relevant to them. Like they're seeing an ad for dog treats or dog training, but they don't have a dog, right? They're probably not going to click on your ad no matter how good it is. You have to think about that in mind. Then we have purchases or, of course, leads, whatever the call to action on your landing page is. And this creates what's called conversion percentage, which is purchases divided by clicks is going to give you the conversion percentage. Now, if you are selling something online that's for sale, like e-commerce or digital products or things like that, you're usually looking for a 2 to 3% conversion percentage. But if you're going for something like a lead magnet opt-in where you're giving away something for free in exchange for their name or email, or you're doing some kind of like webinar registration, the conversion rate will probably be much higher than this. You might even be looking at like a 25 to 35% there. And the conversion rate is determined by the landing page, which is like the copy, design, things of that nature, as well as the offer on the page, what you're giving them. So if the conversion percentage is low, rather than looking at your ad, you might want to look at the actual landing page itself and make a decision based off of that. The next number that you want to look at is called value, which is how much did somebody actually spend. So if somebody places one order on your website and they spend $100 and there was just one order, the average order value is $100. If one person places an order for $200, another one places an order for $100, the average order value is $150, if you understand where I'm going with that. And the average order value is good to know, because you can do things to increase this. You want your average order value to be as high as possible. So things like bundling or related products or incentives to get people to want to spend more. So when you see things like get free shipping when you spend over X number of dollars, or buy one, get the second for 20% off, they're all doing those things to get the average order value higher. Or let's say you're in the digital product space. When you're checking out, there might be a little order bump that says, for $15, do you want to add on this thing, right? Whatever that extra add-on is. So you want to be looking at that to get the average order value. And then lastly is we have what's called ROAS, which is the total value of the orders divided by how much you spent is going to give you ROAS, return on ad spend. And in most cases, we're looking for a 3+ ROAS. For every dollar you spend on advertising, you're making back $3 in revenue, because of course you have cost of goods sold, you have fixed costs, things of that nature. And to make a profit, usually you have to be above the 3. Now, this number right here, the ROAS, this is your North Star number. All of these things matter, but they lead to you getting a good ROAS. If all of these numbers are good, but the ROAS doesn't make sense, you're not going to be profitable in the business. So if this is low, you want to look at these things to determine what's causing this to be low and what can be increased. Or if this is high, let's say you have a 3.5 ROAS, you might be looking at increasing your budget to spend more, because now you found a campaign that's winning for you. So hopefully this chart helps you better understand how to navigate Meta ads numbers and how to make decisions based off of that. If you're looking for more marketing and business videos just like this one, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, because I'm passionate about creating marketing videos just like this one, and I would love to continue to provide value to you and help you generate more leads, more sales, and more impact inside of your business. Thank you so much for watching.